Hi, I'm Stephen with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the benefits of pruning peppers or capsicum. Before we get going, let's talk about some basics, specifically when to start these plants. I usually have a last frost date sometime in May, which means I'm starting my peppers usually in December or January to give them enough of a head start growing inside that when they go outside, they can just simply pick up and take off. Anecdotally, I've noticed the hotter the pepper, the longer it takes for the plant to really get going, so I'd start these ones just a little bit earlier. Starting your peppers indoors can be done a number of different ways. I choose to use fluorescent light fixtures to grow mine. They're usually fairly cost effective, and you can find these grow light setups pretty well at any hardware store. Alternately, you can use an unobstructed south-facing window, and that'll do the trick as well. Using a potting mix made with healthy compost or worm castings will provide all the nutrients that your plants require for a significant amount of time, reducing the amount of external fertilizers you'll need. By pruning these pepper plants, you'll be able to provide them a number of different benefits. The first is a stronger plant that is better able to resist damage and disease while carrying a heavy crop. The second benefit is that heavy crop. Not only will these plants produce earlier in the season, they'll continue to produce later and later as well. And the third is being able to grow more consistently in exotic locations like Zone 3. This pruning will allow the plant to be more vigorous, producing a more consistent result year after year. Although drastic, pruning is fairly simple. I let my pepper plants grow until they hit sexual maturity and are producing flowers, or they're 15 centimeters or 6 inches tall. You might notice the plants have begun to fork by themselves prior to the pruning. I still recommend pruning them, as this will help improve the plant's sturdiness by lowering its center of gravity, increasing its ability to carry more peppers to maturity. The pruning is fairly simple. Find the lowest pair of true leaves. At the junction of the leaves and the main stalk, you will often see the beginnings of new leaves. Using a sharp pruner, cut 1 centimeter or 1/4 inch above this joint. Once you have pruned, the plant will be forced to grow 2 new stalks from this initial leaf junction. The main stalk will thicken as a response, improving the plant's ability to hold the additional weight. The process of being pruned will activate the pepper's stress response, accelerating its growth, and within a week or two, you should see new growth in both locations. Removing the flowers will help focus the plant's energy into vegetative growth, rather than trying to produce fruit. This process can be done as many times as you'd like, until you get the size or shape of pepper plant that you wish. Making sure to remove all of the branches that actually cross back towards the center will help you prevent shading issues and future disease problems. If you live in an area that has an extremely long season and far exceeds the days to ripeness or days to harvest commonly found on the seed package, you can actually prune it when it's outside. I choose not to, because on a good year, I only have a 120-day growing season. In order for me to allow the plant to recover if I've pruned it outside, severely bites into that growing season. Generally, I stop pruning 6 to 8 weeks before I harden these plants off and move them outside. This allows them to recover from the pruning and put on lots of vegetative growth. I've noticed in years past, once I've planted them outside, the plant goes directly into the fruiting phase and doesn't put on much vegetative growth. You'll need to harden off your plants by slowly exposing them to more and more direct sunlight once the threat of frost has abated. This usually takes between 2 to 3 weeks. Before planting, find the sunniest spot in your garden that is unlikely to be shaded in later months. Peppers are a tropical plant. They really enjoy lots of direct sunlight and heat. So in summary, by pruning these pepper plants, you'll not only increase the plant's strength, but your yield and your overall enjoyment, because you can get consistently high crops very simply. And soon enough, you'll be enjoying your very own peppers from your garden. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.